Okay. I told you, look at the now. We have the values of x negative 1, 0, 1. What will be the values of our y? So by substituting it with this one, so we will have here y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. When x is negative 1, what would be the value of your y? So we will have, we're going to substitute negative 1 to our x, that is y is equal to negative 2 times negative 1 plus 3. And so we will have negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. Remember, negative times negative is positive plus 3. So we will have y is equal to 5. That's why when x is negative 1, y is equal to positive 5. Now, what's the value of your y when x is equal to 0? So we will have here, same equation, y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. So what is the value of our y? So we have y is equal to negative 2 times the value of x, which is 0, plus 3. And any number multiplied to 0 is 0, right? So we have 0 plus 3, which is y is equal to 3. That's why the value of our y here is positive 3. And what is the value of y when x is 1? So given the same equation, we will have y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. Y is equal to negative 2 times the value of your x, which is 1, plus 3. And negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2 plus 3. And what is negative 2 plus 3? Positive 1. So we will have here positive 1. Okay, now let's plot the points. So we have the ordered pair, negative 1, positive 5. So we will have from the starting point, negative 1, positive 5. So we have negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our point, negative 1, negative 5 is right over there. Okay, next, we have the ordered pair, 0, 3. So 0 of x and positive 3 of y is here. So we have here 0, 3. And our 1, positive 1, we have 1, positive 1. Now, as I've told you, so again, as I've told you, you're just going to graph it, okay? Connect the points. Again, when graphing, you are going to connect the points, extend the line, and put an arrow. So if you complete this, if these are correct, one check and one check for the graph. Next. Okay, for number 2, we have here for number 2, we have x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. Okay, to make it easier for us to solve for the value of y, let's make it on this equation y is equal to mx plus b. So we will have here x. Oh, you can see it, right? So we will have x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. Now, since we're going to solve for the value of y, we will have here negative y is equal to, put x onto the other side, negative x, since this is positive. When you put onto the other side of the equation, it will become negative. And negative 7, when you put onto the other side, that will be positive 7. And since we're going to solve for the value of y, divide by negative 1 each term. So we will have negative y divide negative 1 is y Negative x divide negative 1 is positive x. And positive 7 divide negative 1 is negative 7. So we will have this equation. Y is equal to x minus 7. Now, using this equation, we can now solve for the value of your y and substitute negative 1 to our x. So what will be the value of y when x is equal to negative 1? So we will have y is equal to negative 1 minus 7. And what is negative 1 minus 7? That is negative 8. That's why this will become negative 8. Okay? Next. What is the value of your y when x is equal to 0? So using the same equation, y is equal to x minus 7. So we will have y is equal to 0 minus 7. So y is equal to negative 7. And negative 7 will be the value of y. And what is the value of y when x is equal to positive 1? So using the same equation, x minus 7. So we will have y is equal to the value of your y, which is 1 minus 7. And 1 minus 7 is equal to negative 6. That's why this is negative 6. Okay? So let us graph. We have the ordered pairs, negative 1, negative 8. So negative 1 of y and negative 8. Negative 1 of x and negative 8 of y will be somewhere over here. Okay? This is negative 1, negative 8. Next, 0, negative 7. 0 of x, negative 7 of y, which is somewhere over there. And we have 0, negative 7. And positive 1, negative 6. Positive 1 of x, negative 6 of y is here. So we will have here 1, negative 6. And again, since we're dealing with graphing, you are going to connect the 3 points. So we will have it like this. So this will be the graph of x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. Next, number 3. Again, it's okay if you're not going to put it like this. Just substitute the value of your x. It's still the same. Okay? Let us try to do it here. So we will have here for number 3. Again, one check for the values of y if these are all correct, and one check for the graph. Next, number 3, we have 2x minus y is equal to negative 1. Again, you can just substitute the value, or you can turn it like this on this equation, y is equal to mx plus b, wherein you're going to solve for the value of y. Again, it's both the same. The answer will be the same. Now, I'm going to show you if you're not going to change it. Just substitute. So you have 2x minus y is equal to negative 1, right? Now, since x is negative 2, what would be the value of your y? So let us substitute negative 2 to x. So 2 times negative 2 minus y is equal to negative 1. What is 2 times negative 2? Negative 4 minus y is equal to negative 1. And since we're going to solve for the value of y, put this negative 4 onto the other side of the equation. So we will have negative y is equal to negative 1. Now, if this is negative, you put onto the other side, it will become positive 4. So we will have here negative y is equal to negative 1 plus 4 is positive 3. But then, we're solving for the value of y, not negative y. So divide both sides by negative 1. And negative y divided negative 1 is positive y. And 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. And so this is negative 3. Hey, miss. Hey. Listen, what are you doing? You're just drawing? Do you want to explain? Okay, so let us have this one. What would be the value of your y when x is equal to 0? So again, using the equation 2x minus y is equal to negative 1. So we will have here 2 times 0 minus y is equal to negative 1. What is 2 times 0? 0 minus y is equal to negative 1. Remember, since this is 0, it means nothing. So we will have here negative y is equal to negative 1. And since we're solving for the value of y, so we will have to divide it by negative 1. So we will have here negative y divided by negative 1 is positive y, and negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1. That's why this is positive 1. Okay? Next, for the value of y when x is equal to positive 2, let's solve it here. So we will have here same equation, 2x minus y is equal to negative 1. When the value of x is positive 2, the value of our y is 2 times 2 minus y is equal to negative 1. And 2 times 2 is positive 4, minus y is equal to negative 1. Again, solve for the value of y, put the other side, the other number onto the other side of the equation. So we will have negative y is equal to negative 1. Now, if this is positive 4, when you put onto the other side of the equation, it will become negative 4. So we will have here negative y is equal to negative 1 minus 4 is equal to negative 5. And since we're solving for the value of y, divide by negative 1. So y divided by negative 1 is y, and negative 5 divided by 1, negative 1 is positive 5. So we will have here the value of y when x is 2 is positive 5. And then let's graph it. So we will have negative 2, negative 3. So negative 2 of x and negative 3 of y. So we will have here negative 2, negative 3. Next is 0, 1. 0 of x and positive 1 of y is somewhere here. So we have here 0, 1. And then we have 2, 5. 2 of x, 5 of y is over here. So we have here 2, 5. And then since we're dealing with the graph, you are going to connect the points. So this will be the graph of 2x minus y is equal to negative 1. And for the last number, okay, we have here 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 4. Let us try to graph. Again, one check for this, one check for the graph. Now, we have 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 4. What will be the value of y when x is negative 2? So again, 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 4 when x is negative 2. So we have 3 times negative 2 minus 2y is equal to negative 4. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 minus 2y is equal to negative 4. So solve for the value of y. Let's put the other number onto the other side of the equation. So we will have here negative 2y is equal to negative 4. Now, negative 6, when you put onto the other side, will become positive 6. So we will have here negative 2y is equal to negative 4 plus 6 is positive 2. And so, to solve for the value of y, divide both sides by negative 2. And y is equal to negative 1. This will become negative 1. Next, what's the value of y when x is equal to 0? So we have 3x minus 2y equals negative 4. So we're going to make x 0. So we have 3 times 0 minus 2y is equal to negative 4. Now, 3 times 0 is 0 minus 2y is equal to negative 4. And since that is 0, again, 0 means nothing. So we will have Just never mind it. Negative 2y is equal to negative 4. Now, we're solving for the value of y, so divide both sides by negative 2. So we will have y is equal to negative 4 divide negative 2 is positive 2. So we will have here positive 2. And for the value of y when x is equal to positive 2. So we will have here 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 4. So 3 times the value of x, which is positive 2, minus 2y is equal to negative 4. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6, minus 2y is equal to negative 4. Now, we're going to solve for the value of y, so the 6 will be put onto the other side of the equation. So we will have here negative 2y is equal to negative 4. Now, if it's positive, when you put onto the other side, it will become negative. So we will have here negative 2y is equal to negative 4 minus 6 is negative 10. Negative plus a minus. Okay? So this is like negative 4 minus 6 is negative 4 plus negative 6. So to divide both sides by to solve for the value of y, divide by the coefficient of y, which is negative 2. So we will have here y is equal to 5. That's why we will have here y is equal to 5. Okay? So we will have negative 2, negative 1. When we graph, negative 2, negative 1 is over here. Negative 2, negative 1. Next, 0, 2. 0 of x, positive 2 of y is here. And 2, 5. 2 of x, 5 of y is over there. So we have here 2, 5. And then let's graph it. Let's connect the points. Okay, one check for this and one check for that. Okay? That's how you're going to solve or graph the given equations. Okay, give me the papers. Okay, I hope that you understood it, especially for those who forgot their works. Anyway, I know that the other teachers will explain it to you more in Pasatay, so I hope that you understood it. Because today we're going to discuss a different topic, which is about the x and y intercept of linear equations in two variables. Get your notebooks now. Okay, this is the topic that we're going to talk about today. Hey, you going to throw? Huh? You want to throw here? We don't need that throw in my class. Keep it. Okay, x and y intercept of linear equations in two variables. This is the topic. Okay. Now, what is x-intercept and y-intercept? Since we're dealing with x and y-intercept. By the way, what's intercept? Okay. So, when we talked about x and y-intercept, okay, so x-intercept is a point. Remember, it is a point, meaning we're dealing with the ordered pair x and y. It is a point where a line crosses the x-axis. Now, as you can see, remember, in our Cartesian plane, we have here the y-axis and the x-axis, right? Now, we're dealing with an x-intercept is a point where line crosses the x-axis, meaning that there should be a point in the x-axis on a given line. So, for example, this line, okay? We have this line and this point in which this line crosses the x-axis, you call this the x-intercept. Again, it is a point where a line crosses the x-axis. So if you have a point on this x-axis, you call this the x-intercept. Okay? I'm just going to show you, okay? It is a point on the line that crosses the x-axis. Now, y-intercept is a point as well that crosses the y-axis. Hey, keep your phone. If you want to copy it, just copy it. Okay, again, y-intercept is a point where a line crosses the y-axis. Now, again, this is the line, and this line touches the y-axis. Okay? So this point is what we call the y-intercept. Okay? Again, remember, x and y intercepts are points. Okay? Now, let me give you an example. You finished copying this? Finish? Okay. Now, let us have an example. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, let us have example number 1. Identify ordered pair, ordered pairs are the x comma y values. Now, x-intercept, remember, x value, okay? X-axis, y-axis. So, this line, okay, as you can see, we have the graph of a line. And if we graph this, this is the point, right? That touches the x-axis, okay? So, since this point crosses the x-axis, this is what you call the x-intercept. So, what is our x-intercept? Again, write as an ordered pair. What is this ordered pair? This is, what is this ordered pair? 2, 0, 2, comma, 0. Meaning at our x-intercept is 2, comma, 0. Since this point touches the x-axis. Remember, if it's an x-intercept, your y is always 0. Okay? Now, as for the y-intercept, what is our y-intercept? It is the point that touches the y-axis. Now, this is the point, right? And what is the point? 0, comma, negative 2. Very good, okay? So that is how you're going to write. Remember, for y-intercept, your x is always 0. Okay? Understand? Let's have another one. For number 2. What is our x-intercept? What is the x-intercept? Tell me. Again? 2, 0. And again, this is the x-intercept. This point touches the x-axis. Now, what is our y-intercept? We have 0, 2, this point. So we have 0, 2. How should I make up? Do you understand x and y intercept? Can you try this on your notebook? Identify your x and y intercept for number 3 and 4. Again, write it as an ordered pair. Just like this. Okay? X-intercept, y-intercept. Do for number 3 and 4. Top cap. Oh. Yan, May. Do it on your notebook. No need to draw it. Just identify the x and y intercept. Again, you don't need to draw. Don't draw it. Just identify the x and y intercept. Just write x-intercept. Just like this, okay? X-intercept, y-intercept. You don't need to copy it. Just answer. Ah, 1 minute. Finish? Huh? Finish? Yang? Is this hard? Yak mai? If this is hard, I don't know what's easy anymore. Okay. Let's answer this. Exchange notebooks. Exchange notebooks now. Mm. I again exchange notebooks. Okay, let's answer number one. Number three. X-intercept. Again, it is the point that touches the the x-axis. Again, this is our x-axis. Oh wait, it's on freeze. Okay. Remember, this is our x-axis. Okay. And this axis touches this point. And what is this point? That is negative 1, 0. Okay. Next, what is our y-intercept? This is our y-axis. And this line touches this point. And what is this point? That is 0, 5. Remember, for x-intercept, y is always equal to 0. Oh, sorry, negative 5. My bad. Kadod. That's 0, negative 5. Okay. Next, for number 4. What is our x-intercept? X-intercept is the line that touches the is the point that touches the x-axis, and we have that point. And what is that point? Negative 3, 0. And as for our y-intercept, it is the point that touches the y-axis, which is this point, and that answer is 0, 2. Who got 4? Very good. 3, 2, 1, 0. What's your score? You don't have score. Only them. Again, who got 4? 3, 2, 1, 0. Really? Yak mai? Then why did you get 0 if it's easy? Do you understand the x and y intercept? Kaja mai kap? Now, again, it's easy if you have a line. Okay? But what if you only have an equation? So we're going to solve for the x and y intercept of the equation. Okay? Now, we don't have line or graph, but we have an equation, and we are going to solve for the x and y intercept. Now, for that one, solve for x-intercept. And we're going to solve for the y-intercept. Okay? In solving the x and y-intercept, remember, as you can see earlier, our x-intercept has y is 0, right? And the y-intercept, x is 0. Same with everything. Y is 0, x is 0. Okay? Meaning, if we are going to solve for the x-intercept, let y be equal to 0 for x-intercept, and let x be equal to 0 for y-intercept. Now, since we have the equation, hey, listen here, do not sleep. We have here y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Now, to solve for the y-intercept of the equation, let y is equal to 0. So we will have 0 is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Okay? Now, since we're going to solve for the value of x, let's put positive 4 onto the other side of the equation. Now, since this is positive, it will become negative 4 is equal to negative 2x. Remember, since this is 0, never mind that 0, okay? Since it doesn't have value. And so we will have here, to solve for the value of x, divide by negative 2. So x is equal to, negative 4 divided 2 is positive 2. Meaning that our x-intercept is at 2, 0. Remember, we have the point xy, right? And since y is equal to 0, that will become 0. And the solved value of x is positive 2. So your x-intercept for this equation is 2, 0. How do I make up? Now, as for the y-intercept, we're going to solve for x is equal to 0. So we will have y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. What would be the value of y when x is 0? Y is equal to negative 2 times 0 plus 4. And what is negative 2 times 0? 0 plus 4. So what's the value of y? Positive 4. So what is our y-intercept? It is 0, 4. X, y. That's y 0. As for x, and as for y, positive 4. Do you understand? Understand? Okay. That is for the x and y intercept. Let's have one more example. You finished copying, right? Finish copying? Oh, you're not copying it. Do you remember it? Come on. Do I need to tell you everything? Oh, you copy this. Okay. Now, let's have another example. Let's say we have this. Okay. We have x. Okay, we're going to solve for the x and y intercept, and we're going to graph it, okay? So we have x plus 8 is, x plus y is equal to 8. Okay, let us have that equation. Now, again, to solve for the x-intercept. Okay, to solve for the x-intercept, let x be equal to, let y be equal to 0. So we will have x-intercept. Okay, oh, it's I can't see it. Okay, so to solve for the x-intercept, let y be equal to 0. And so we will have x plus y is equal to 8. Now, y is equal to 0, so x plus 0 is equal to 8. So we will have x is equal to positive 8. So what is our x-intercept? X-intercept is 8, comma 0. Okay? As for the y-intercept, let's solve for the y-intercept here down. So y-intercept, let x is equal to 0. So using the equation x plus 8 is equal to, x plus y is equal to 8. So we're going to make x is equal to 0. So you have 0 plus y is equal to 8. Since that is 0 plus y, we're just going to, never mind the 0, so we'll have y is equal to 8. Okay? Meaning that our y-intercept is at 0, comma 8. Okay? And if we're going to graph that, x-intercept is 8, 0. So we have 8, comma 0. Let's say this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 8, 0 is somewhere over there. Okay? Let's make this 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? And our 0, 8 is somewhere over here. Again, this is 8, comma 0. This is 8, 0, comma 8. And so if we're going to connect those points, we will have this graph. So this will be the graph of x plus y is equal to 8. Do you understand? So again, there are ways in graphing linear equations. You can use the table of values and also the x and y intercept. Okay? How's your makeup? Now, we still have time, right? Since we don't have that much time, I think I'll just give you a homework. Okay. You don't have a choice. You need to do it. Okay. I want you to solve the x and y intercept of the following equation and then graph it. Okay. I'll copy it now while we have time. Copy the equations, but I want you to graph it. Again, you're going to do it just like this one, okay? Solve for the x and y intercept, and then you're going to graph it. Again, x-intercept, y-intercept, and then graph it like this. How'd I make up? Okay. Do this for these equations. Just copy the equations. As for the graphing, you do it. Hey, not take picture but copy, Mister. I said copy, not take picture. Just copy the equations first. The equations, just copy these things. For the graph, you do it when you're answering it. And again, copy. If you're going to come next week without homework, don't come at all, okay? Again, next week, if you don't have homework, don't come. Make sure to do it. Okay, anyway, since it's already time, make sure to finish it. Again, if you don't have homework, hey, no homework, don't come to my class. Okay, stand up. Goodbye.